Most people think saving money will one day make them rich. But what if I told you that savings are only the first step, and the real secret lies in something far more dangerous? Something that could either build your freedom, or destroy it forever. This is the story of George, and the 7 lessons he learned from a man whose money never seemed to rest. George, a 25-year-old young man, had spent 5 years working at a grocery store. From clerk to a respectable position, his steady effort had paid off. But no matter how much he saved, the growth felt painfully slow. Each night he asked himself, "Can my money work for me while I sleep?" Then he heard of a man whose wealth grew even when he wasn't working. A man whose money never seemed to rest. George knew he had to find him and uncover the secret that could change his life. George believed saving was enough, but soon he would learn that saving was only the beginning. Every fortune begins with the simplest of habits. At last, George met the man he had been searching for, Mr. Henry. Known for wealth that seemed effortless, Mr. Henry carried himself with calm confidence. He listened to George's concern, then shared his first rule. Saving is essential, but never start with borrowed money. Loans create chains before freedom can even begin. A weak foundation will only drag you down. George felt a wave of relief. His years of discipline weren't wasted. His savings were not meaningless. For the first time he believed he was closer to the answer. But just as relief settled in, Mr. Henry's next words struck like lightning. Saving alone will never make you free. Not everything that shines will make you rich. Mr. Henry's voice grew firm as he warned George of a danger far greater than slow savings, the temptation of luxuries. Many people, he said, spend their first real earnings on cars, expensive phones, or even houses they cannot truly afford. They think it shows success, but in reality, it buries them in costs before their wealth has even begun to grow. George froze. He had often dreamed of buying those very things, a sleek car, the latest phone, a home that proved he had made it. For the first time he realized, those dreams could have destroyed his future before it even started. Just as George felt safe from this trap, Mr. Henry leaned closer, his tone serious. There is something even more dangerous than spending. What if opportunities were standing right in front of you, invisible, until someone pointed them out? George waited, curious about what could possibly be worse than wasteful spending. But instead of warning him further, Mr. Henry surprised him. He didn't talk about faraway businesses or giant investments. He spoke of opportunities that were simple, accessible, and already within reach. He mentioned people who had started small services with modest savings. A young man who began providing internet connections with less than half a month's salary. A neighbor who raised poultry with a small investment and turned it into steady profit. Ordinary people, quietly building income streams that grew with time. George was stunned. He realized he had walked past these possibilities countless times, yet never noticed them. Passive income no longer felt distant. It wasn't for the rich alone, it was closer than he ever imagined. Just as George thought he finally understood the lesson, Mr. Henry pointed toward something George had seen all his life, but never truly looked at, an overlooked door to passive income, waiting silently for him. Dreams don't grow by waiting, they grow by beginning. Mr. Henry now revealed the third step, action. Plans and ideas are worthless, he said, if you never begin. Even a small start will teach you lessons no book can. Challenges don't live on paper. They only appear once you take the first step. George's pulse quickened. Every word struck deep. He thought of the years he had spent only saving, waiting, hesitating. For the first time he felt ready to act, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. His mind raced with ideas. Small steps. Modest investments. A beginning that could grow into something greater. But George didn't realize that his eagerness to start would soon be tested by a challenge powerful enough to shatter his determination. What if success itself became your greatest enemy? Mr. Henry's voice grew sharper. Reinvestment is powerful, but greed is dangerous. Many have started small, grown fast, and then lost everything by expanding too quickly. He shared a chilling story of a man who had built rapidly but without control. With every success, he grew reckless, borrowing, rushing, and piling risk upon risk. His empire rose quickly and collapsed even faster. George listened carefully, shaken by the thought. He realized the path wasn't just about making money, it was about discipline, patience, and control. George once believed that making money was the hardest part. Now he understood, the real danger was keeping it safe from his own impulses. The easiest mistake is to believe one source is enough. Mr. Henry explained the sixth step, diversification. True wealth never depends on a single stream of income. One river can dry up, but many rivers keep flowing. Build more than one, and you'll never be left empty. At the same time, he reminded George to enjoy the rewards wisely. Spend no more than half your profits. Freedom isn't about denying yourself everything, it's about balance and wisdom. For the first time, George felt balance. Wealth wasn't just sacrifice, nor was it reckless pleasure. It was harmony between the two. He felt stronger than ever, yet Mr. Henry's tone shifted. There was still one last secret, and it would decide George's future. Time is the greatest multiplier, if you respect it. Mr. Henry's final lesson was about patience. Passive income isn't about overnight success. It's about consistency, adaptation, and never stopping the process of learning. Wealth is not built in a rush, it's built with time. George finally understood. Saving gave him strength. Avoiding luxuries gave him protection. Action gave him momentum. Diversification gave him security. But the ultimate key, the one that tied everything together, was time. He left that day, filled with confidence and clarity. He was ready not just to begin, but to continue, no matter how long the path would be. As George stepped away, one haunting question echoed in his mind. The real challenge isn't starting, it's never giving up on the journey.